There are right now, on British roads, hundreds of thousands of drivers who have paid between £1,700 and £6,500 for repairs they should never have had to pay for. Not because the warranty expired, not because they missed a service, because the manufacturers knew the components were going to fail, issued internal documents to their dealerships explaining exactly why, and never once picked up the phone to tell you. Today we're going through 9 cases, specific manufacturers, specific engines, specific amounts, where British drivers are owed money. Some of these claims are still open, some require you to know exactly which legal weapon to use, and one of them involves a manufacturer who set up a compensation fund, paid out quietly to owners who found it, and let it expire on December 31st, 2024 without sending a single letter to the millions of affected owners in this country. Let's start with the one that costs the most. The BMW N47 is a 4-cylinder diesel engine. It powered the 1 Series, 3 Series, 5 Series, and X1 between 2007 and 2015. If you owned one of these cars, an E81, E90, F10, F30, or F20, this section concerns you directly. BMW placed the timing chain at the rear of the engine block, between the engine and the gearbox. The official reason was noise reduction and better packaging. The real-world consequence was that a component designed to last the life of the vehicle became unreachable without removing the engine entirely. The chain itself was the second problem. Early N47 units used a chain and tensioner combination that was undersized for the job. BMW's own recommended service intervals, 15,000 to 20,000 miles, meant carbon deposits accumulated faster than the lubrication could compensate. The tensioner weakened, the chain stretched, the plastic guide rails that kept everything in alignment began to disintegrate, shredding nylon debris into the oil sump, clogging the oil pickup strainer. When the chain fails, and with these engines it is when, not if, the pistons contact the valves. At that point, you're not looking at a chain replacement, you're looking at an engine rebuild or replacement unit. At a BMW authorized dealer, that bill runs between £5,500 and £6,500. At a specialist, between £3,500 and £5,000. Preventative replacement before failure, catching it at the rattle stage, costs between £1,700 and £2,500. BMW knew. They issued Technical Service Bulletin SIB 110310 in 2010, then SIB 110313. These are internal dealer documents, diagnostic protocols, updated parts numbers, revised chain and guide specifications. Neither bulletin triggered owner notification, neither triggered a recall. The documents went to dealerships. Owners got nothing. What did exist, and still does for vehicles within 6 years of purchase, is what BMW called a quality enhancement program, a goodwill scheme. But here is the critical detail. The scheme is reactive. You have to walk into a BMW dealer and complain about the rattle. If you don't know to listen for it, if you don't know to demand the QEP check, nothing happens. BMW does not contact you. The scheme also carries a condition that has infuriated owners across the UK. Full BMW main dealer service history, not independent specialist servicing, main dealer. So if you did everything right mechanically but used a reputable independent garage rather than paying main dealer rates, BMW's goodwill position weakens significantly. Here is what changes that. The Consumer Rights Act 2015. We'll come back to this in detail, but the short version, an inherent defect, a fault present in the design at the time of the sale, even if it only manifests later, remains the manufacturer's liability for up to 6 years, regardless of service history and regardless of whether any goodwill scheme exists or has expired. BMW's own TSBs are evidence that they knew about this defect. That evidence belongs to you. The BMW N57 is the 6-cylinder diesel. It sits in the X5, the 530D, the 535D, the 730D. More expensive cars, more expensive owners who presumably expect better. The timing chain setup on the N57 is architecturally identical to the N47. Rear-mounted, same tensioner design, same guide rail material, same failure mode. The N57 simply has more mass turning and more oil volume, which means when it goes wrong, it goes harder. Fewer people know about the N57 because it's less common than the 4-cylinder and because the owners of £35,000 BMWs are assumed to be at main dealers on schedule. The goodwill position is the same, the legal position is the same, and the repair bill, if you miss it, runs to the same £5,500 to £6,500 range, sometimes higher on the larger units. If you own an E70X5, an F10 530D, or an F11 Touring with a 6-cylinder diesel between 2008 and 2014, check the VIN against BMW's service portal. The TSBs apply. Ford fitted the 1-litre EcoBoost to the Fiesta, the Focus, the Puma, and the EcoSport, millions of examples on UK roads. Between 2012 and 2015, the early engines carried a nylon coolant hose that would crack and empty the coolant system, sometimes without triggering the temperature warning before the engine seized. Ford knew. The revised design came later, but what happened to owners of the early cars who had already seized an engine? Between 2016 and 2018, the second-generation EcoBoost introduced a wet timing belt for the oil pump, the same architecture that destroys the PureTech. Belt debris clogs the oil pickup. Oil starvation follows. Engine replacement between £2,800 and £4,000. In early 2024, a document leaked through automotive consumer networks in the UK indicated that Ford had internally reversed its goodwill policy on EcoBoost failures. The document showed that the threshold for approving goodwill contributions had been raised, effectively making it significantly harder to obtain support for engine failures without a perfect Ford main dealer service history. BBC Watchdog has previously covered EcoBoost failures. That coverage matters because it establishes public record that Ford was aware of these issues. The claim route for UK owners: contact Ford UK's Customer Relationship Centre directly. Reference the known technical service bulletins. Reference the watchdog coverage as evidence of public acknowledgement. If the failure falls within 6 years of purchase from a dealer, add the Consumer Rights Act. Ford's response to claims references service history requirements. The CRA does not. That is a distinction worth understanding before you make the call. The 1.6-litre turbocharged Prince engine, development code N14, went into the Mini Cooper S from 2007 to 2010. R55 Clubman, R56 hatchback, R57 convertible. Co-developed by BMW and PSA, it suffered from timing chain tensioner failure. The tensioner loses tension, the chain rattles, timing slips, pistons meet valves. Full engine, between £3,000 and £4,600 fitted. In the United States, a class action lawsuit, Skeen vs. BMW, resulted in a $30 million settlement. American Mini Cooper S owners received warranty extensions to 7 years or 100,000 miles, repair reimbursements capped at $4,500, documented, court-ordered, public record. In the United Kingdom, BMW operated what they call a quality enhancement program for these engines, largely undisclosed, managed on a case-by-case basis at dealer discretion during service visits, no proactive owner notification. The QEP window for the earliest R56 models has largely expired, but here is why the American settlement still matters for British owners arguing under the Consumer Rights Act. It proves the manufacturer knew. A $30 million settlement does not happen without BMW's legal team acknowledging, implicitly, that the defect was inherent and present at the time of sale. That acknowledgement, made in a court of law in another jurisdiction, is admissible as evidence that this was not fair wear and tear. It was a manufacturing defect, known since at least 2008. The DQ200 is the 7-speed dry-clutch DSG gearbox fitted to Volkswagen Golf, Polo, Audi A3, Audi A1, Seat Leon, Seat Ibiza, Skoda Octavia and Skoda Fabia, among others. Millions of units across Europe. The failure mode is the mechatronic unit. The hydraulic valve body housing develops a crack at the base of the pressure accumulator mounting point. Hydraulic pressure drops. The gearbox loses the ability to change gear. Fault codes P17BF00, P084100, P189500. Complete loss of drive. Mechatronic replacement over £2,300. Volkswagen told UK owners that the DQ200 is filled for life and requires no periodic maintenance. They issued service campaigns 34F1 and 34H4, checks and software updates for the mechatronic unit to dealerships. They did not write to owners. They did not issue a safety recall. The campaigns were performed when vehicles came in for other work, if the dealership remembered to check. In China, following an investigation by the quality regulator AQSIQ, Volkswagen was ordered to provide a 10-year warranty extension on the DQ200. 10 years. In Australia, specific Audi models received a formal recall. In the United Kingdom, standard 3-year warranty. Service campaigns that were never communicated. Nothing more. This is the same gearbox, the same design flaw, the same hydraulic crack. Chinese regulators decided their consumers deserved 10 years of manufacturer support. UK regulators accepted service campaigns. The claim position for UK owners. The accumulator crack is a manufacturing defect, not fair wear and tear. The DQ200 is marketed and sold as a sealed maintenance-free unit. When a sealed maintenance-free unit fails due to a casting flaw in its hydraulic housing, that failure is inherent. Under the Consumer Rights Act, that argument has teeth. The 1.2 PureTech 3-cylinder turbocharged engine is in more British cars than most people realise. Peugeot 208, 308, 2008, 3008, 5008, Citroën C3, C4, C5 Aircross, Vauxhall Corsa, Mocha, DS3, DS4, DS7. The vast majority of new small and medium cars sold by these brands across the last decade carry this engine. The timing belt runs through engine oil. As the oil degrades, which happens faster on short trips, on extended service intervals, and cold climates, it chemically attacks the rubber belt. The belt shreds particles. Those particles clog the oil pump strainer. Oil pressure drops. But the failure that makes this a safety issue, not just a reliability issue, is what happens next. The particles also clog the vacuum pump. The vacuum pump operates your brake booster. When it fails, brake pedal effort multiplies by 4 or 5 times. You push the pedal and not much happens. Consumer and legal pressure in France and Portugal forced Stellantis to act. In March 2024, Stellantis launched Stellantis-support.com, a dedicated compensation platform covering the UK market. It extended the warranty on the PureTech timing belt and associated oil pressure failures to 10 years or 112,000 miles, covering 100% of parts and labour. For owners who had already been paid for repairs, it accepted retrospective claims for costs incurred between January 1, 2022 and December 31, 2024. That platform closed on December 31, 2024. The retrospective claims window is gone. Stellantis sent no letters to the millions of affected UK owners, no emails, no text messages. They built the platform, documented it on a website that required you to already know it existed, and closed it 2 months ago. If you own one of these cars and paid for a timing belt or oil pressure repair in 2022, 2023, or 2024, the retrospective window has closed. But the engine is still in production in current cars. Current owners are still covered by the 10-year extension. Contact your Peugeot, Citroën, or Vauxhall dealer and ask them to confirm the extension against your VIN before the belt degrades. For owners outside the extension period, for older vehicles, for repairs predating January 2022, the Consumer Rights Act. The design defect is documented. The French legal action is documented. The Stellantis compensation platform itself is documented evidence that the manufacturer acknowledged the fault. The OM651 diesel engine went into the Mercedes C-Class W204, E-Class W212, GLK and Sprinter van between roughly 2008 and 2017. Hundreds of thousands of examples across the UK, many still in daily use. The intake manifold carries swirl flaps, small valves that regulate airflow for low-speed torque and emissions management. The mechanism is operated by a plastic central pivot lever connected to a vacuum actuator. The lever is made from a plastic grade that becomes brittle with heat cycling. Carbon deposits from the EGR system gradually increase the resistance the lever must overcome. Eventually, the plastic snaps. Fault codes P2006 and P200A appear. The car enters limp mode. Mercedes classifies this as fair wear and tear. It is not. The plastic specification used in the lever was inadequate for the thermal environment it operates in. This is a known, documented design deficiency. Mercedes issued service information bulletins about incorrect pressure readings related to the manifold. These bulletins went to dealers. They did not trigger free repairs. The replacement manifold, either through Mercedes or an aftermarket source, costs between £600 and £1,000 fitted. There is an aftermarket aluminium repair kit that addresses the specific failure point for between £50 and £100 DIY. Mercedes will not tell you about the aluminium kit. They will quote you for a complete manifold replacement. Securing a free repair from Mercedes on the OM651 swirl flap failure requires demonstrating that the plastic component failed to a manufacturing design flaw rather than normal operational wear. The service information bulletins are your evidence. The failure mileage matters. A plastic lever that breaks at 60,000 miles on a component rated to last the life of the engine is not wear and tear. It is premature failure of an inadequate material. Every case in this video has one thing in common. The manufacturer's warranty has expired, and every dealership in Britain will tell you with complete confidence that once the warranty is gone, you are on your own. That is not what the law says. The Consumer Rights Act 2015 establishes that any vehicle sold by a dealer must be of satisfactory quality, fit for purpose, and as described at the point of sale. An inherent defect, a fault present in the design or manufacture at the time of sale, even if it only becomes apparent thousands of miles later, remains the manufacturer's liability. The Act provides protection for up to 6 years from the date of purchase. In the first 6 months after purchase, the burden of proof is reversed. The dealer must prove the fault was not present at sale. After 6 months, the burden shifts to the consumer, but technical service bulletins, DVSA records of service campaigns, and documented patterns of failure across a model range all serve as evidence that a defect was inherent rather than caused by owner neglect. Goodwill does not replace your statutory rights. A manufacturer can offer goodwill and refuse it without affecting your CRA entitlement. A dealer cannot legally decline a Consumer Rights Act claim simply because a manufacturer's goodwill scheme has expired. These are separate legal frameworks, and most dealers will not volunteer that distinction. To establish an inherent defect argument, you need 2 things. First, evidence that the fault is widespread and pattern linked to your specific model and year, which is where the DVSA service campaign records and manufacturer TSBs come in. Second, evidence that the manufacturer was aware of the fault, which, for every engine in this video, is already documented in the public record. Step 1. Before you call anyone, check the DVSA Vehicle Recall database at gov.uk using your registration number. This shows outstanding safety recalls. Then go further. Use the manufacturer's own VIN portal. BMW's is at bmw.co.uk, Ford's at ford.co.uk/recall, Stellantis brands at vauxhall.co.uk or peugeot.co.uk to search for service campaigns specific to your VIN. These campaigns are often not listed on the DVSA check but are visible in the manufacturer's system. Step 2. Gather everything. Service invoices going back as far as you have them, dealer job cards, any correspondence with the manufacturer, any diagnostic reports showing the fault code. The specific fault code matters. P17BF00 on a DQ200, P2006 on an OM651, the rattle description on an N47. These are the codes that correspond to the documented defects. Step 3. Write to the dealer, in writing, not a phone call, referencing the Consumer Rights Act 2015, the specific defect, and any TSB or service campaign number you have found. State clearly that you believe the fault is inherent and was present at the time of sale. Request either repair at no cost or a written explanation for the refusal. Step 4. If the dealer refuses, escalate to the manufacturer's customer relations department. Reference the same legislation. Reference any public acknowledgement of the defect, watchdog coverage, French legal proceedings, the Stellantis compensation platform, the American class action. These are not irrelevant to UK law, they are evidence of manufacturer knowledge. Step 5. If the manufacturer refuses, you have 3 routes. Trading standards, which can act on systemic breaches of consumer law and does not charge. Which legal, which offers a letter service specifically for Consumer Rights Act claims and costs significantly less than a solicitor. Or the small claims court, where the limit is £10,000 and the filing fee is proportional to the claim amount. For a £3,000 engine replacement claim, the court fee is £115. Manufacturers settle the vast majority of small claims before the hearing date, because the cost of a solicitor attending even a brief hearing exceeds the cost of the repair. They are not fighting you on principle, they are hoping you give up. One more thing worth noting, when a dealer or manufacturer offers you a partial goodwill contribution, say 50% of the repair cost, they will often ask you to sign an agreement that you accept this as full and final settlement. Read that document before you sign it. If you sign it, your Consumer Rights Act claim is extinguished. The partial goodwill offer is frequently used as a mechanism to close down a statutory right that is worth considerably more. You do not have to accept partial goodwill. You can reject it and proceed under the CRA. The standard position from dealer service desks across Britain is, warranty expired, goodwill scheme closed, nothing we can do. That position is legally incorrect for inherent defects within 6 years of purchase. Every person who accepts it at face value saves the manufacturer money and loses their own. This is not begging for goodwill, this is not asking a favour. Every case in this video involves a defect that the manufacturer documented internally, managed quietly, and never disclosed to the owners who paid full price for the vehicles. The Consumer Rights Act exists precisely for this situation. Check your registration, find the TSBs, write the letter, the money is there. They are counting on you not knowing how to ask for it. What car do you own, and have you ever been refused a goodwill repair you think you deserved? Drop it in the comments. I want to know which manufacturers are turning claims down, because that becomes the next investigation. And if this video helped you find money you're owed, share it with every person you know driving one of these cars. They don't know this channel exists yet, but they need to.